requesting Advocate Vijayakumar PS, and he, after the retirement, he is doing his PhD now. That is a very great thing, and his lifelong ambitions. And his guide is Dr. N. Krishna Kumar. I request Advocate Vijayakumar PS, sir, to present his paper. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am doing research work under Dr. Krishna Kumar, the principal of Government Law College, Kozhikode. My topic is on corruption. It is rightly said that your speech becomes well only when your tongue says what your heart feels. So here I am to talk about the current and worldwide ongoing issue and enlighten all of you with a speech on corruption. In one aspect or the other, we all have come across the word corruption. According to political ideology's definition, corruption is a form of dishonesty or criminal offense undertaken by a person or organization entrusted with a position of authority to acquire illicit benefit or abuse of power for one's private gain. Simply, corruption is a dishonest behavior practiced by authorities such as managers or government officials. This is how people with power rule the world, whereby violating certain people's rights and privileges. Now let us see the reason for corruption. The main reason for corruption in India is the link between bureaucrats, politicians, and the criminals. Example of corruption. Well, what is a speech on corruption without some example? So here are some things which you must have experienced at some point in your life. Have you ever applied for your or your child's admission to big reputed college? You can observe in a few of those colleges that if you are not eligible for admission, then a bribe is the door opener. Sounds pathetic, right? But this is the sad truth these days. From getting admission to reputed colleges to being elected with numerous votes, everything, unless more minor or more ways, is induced with corruption. But the most significant and the worst type of corruption is political corruption. In legal terms, political corruption or moral politics uses powers by government officials or their network contacts for illegitimate private gain. This type is the most concerning one as it erodes the fundamental values of law that governs and regulates society, creating a massive mess in the country as a whole. Now, you all might be thinking that this happens only in well-established and sophisticated cities. But that's not the case. It occurs throughout India. Metropolitan cities, towns, and villages are all part of this evil game. Then it is the common man who gets unnecessarily trapped in the dishonest strategies of this game. The heights of corruption have reached such an extent that strict law can also reduce but not abolish this corrupt mindset. Then the causes of corruption. Any speech on corruption can never be complete without looking at the causes of corruption. So, we often hear people saying everything happens for a reason. This states that everything happening around us is driven by a strong desire or motivation behind it. In the same way, corruption also has some hidden causes behind it. Enlisted are the causes of corruption. The following: 1. Greed of money, then poverty, then lack of values and ethics, lack of education, etc. High level of bureaucracy and insufficient administration structure that are political instability, gender equality, causes of corruption, and what are the main causes of corruption can be explained. How to fight corruption against. Now, when you have ranked up this sensitive topic in my speech on corruption, I must bring to your notice certain measures to reduce this problem. Every problem has a solution, but it depends whether you want to solve it or not. It depends on us if we have to stand against this evil act or support it. People usually stay silent in such situations, but one must remember that mere silence leads to acceptance. We must unite together and try to reduce corruption. Enlisted are the various ways in which we can reduce corruption to a greater extent. People should start reporting cases of corruption without any delay. All the government, non-government, public, private, and education should unite together and stand against corruption. The media and advertising sector should educate people against corruption regularly. We should provide students with additional courses to build a better citizens of tomorrow. In conclusion, corruption is making life worse for the commoner, but he is the only one who can raise this voice and bring change. We should start from ourselves and change our thinking of make a change to that of be a change. So let's come together and stand in favor of the commoner and not corruption. Let us decide to be a loyal and valuable citizens of our country. The country that has highest level of corruption is Somalia. The country with the least level of corruption is Denmark. The severest punishment for corruption in India is minimum of 3 years to maximum of 7 years with imprisonment. The 10 most corrupt countries in the world are Colombia, Mexico, Russia, Myanmar, Brazil, Arabia, Kenya, etc. That's all. Then, thank you, Prakash sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah. In order to prevent corruption, we have made statutes in which the punishment awarded, especially it has been posted for the purpose of trialing and the trial of the. And each district may have one court to conduct the corruption cases. But unfortunately, the sentence prescribed for the corruption and the cases to be instituted is not a sessions case. It must be a warrant trial case, and the maximum punishment that can be awarded is only up to 3 to 5 years.
3 to 7 years.
Okay, is it sufficient to prevent such corruptions? And according to you, any person or any politician so far as been convicted by the court, what is the conviction rate?
Procedures to be taken.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a very significant doubt.
Because research paper must be based on this one, the conviction rate by the court.
Yeah. Now to eradicate completely eradicate this corruption, there are so many other steps are to be taken. So far as we are concerned, at present, our there is certain limitations.
As far as Indians are concerned, we need to have a particular stringent punishment to be awarded so that offenders will not commit any type of crimes. Corruption is said to be a crime so that the offenders will not commit any such crimes. Because our punishment is based on the reformative method of punishment. Because once we commit a crime, we bring the offender to the mainstream of society by giving correctional methods. Even when we are implementing a deterrent punishment or retributive committing a crime, similar crime, you see any politicians or any public servants, so far as we have not convicted any person, so that the corruption is increasing day by day, and India is ranked the topmost country in the world for corruption. Even Bangladesh is coming under India. So, your research must be focused on the basis of corruption, including corruption of the society. Society is totally corrupted.
And our basic principle is also based on this particular corruption. And every person is based on corruption. So that is reflected by the public servant. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.